Neat and techy Brezza, the city bred SUV.
Well, shades of just how dangerous the Mumbai Indians can be when things go right. And things went right today with Surya Yadav firing himself to a 51 ball, 102 and registering a thumping win for the Mumbai Indians against the Sunrisers. It may still not prove to be enough. Mumbai, for the time being, will avoid official elimination from the playoffs race, but it's a result that would keep a number of teams happy and excited, with the Sunrisers just losing ground on what could have been a third-place finish at the end of match 55. We look back at a game that seemed pretty easy for Mumbai in the end, and we find out why on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL. Do get ready with your questions and comments as well. I'll put them through to Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan and Wasim Jaffer as we go on. Why don't I start with the man who predicted exactly when this would finish?
17.2. Yeah, it was a bold prediction, but a correct one, and I'm going to be rewarded for that as well.
Could I just stop? Could we just get the white shot, please?
What?
Do you see his body language after the Mumbai win?
I was going to say
Don't you think?
Yeah.
It's completely different. Just go watch any of our previous shows.
Less stressful.
Like, look at him. He's got... How would you describe that, both of you, in contrast where we've seen all the other Mumbai games that they've lost?
It's embarrassing. Well, he's supposed to be a neutral sort of expert on this panel, 100%. And finding the whole thing a bit embarrassing. You should actually wear the kit. Why don't you wear the kit tomorrow? Just the full tracksuit.
I don't think they make it big enough.
Well, you said it.
Why do you find that funny?
Do you sense perhaps on this particular fixture, they feel like Tom is sulking because it's a Sunrisers defeat? But no,
it could be, but you know, I'm sort of well out of the system.
That was nice. It was nice to see them finally fire. No, it was a bit dicey there at the start. 3 for 31. We knew how important the power play was going to be for Sunrisers Hyderabad. And they got off to a decent enough start. They really put some pressure on. But that partnership between Tilak and Surya Yadav was outstanding. I think they were at one point they were striking at 200 in their partnership, and it was a real big counter punch in terms of taking on the bowlers in the power play and resurrected it. And from that point on, whether the wicket got better or the pressure they continued to put on, Sunrisers really didn't look like they were going to get a breakthrough.
That's a very important Surya innings, given what happened to the game after he got out in the last game. And it's not really been Surya's best season, but that was the best of Surya?
Oh, without a doubt, especially this season. And in the power play, they were 31 for 3 in 4 overs. And for them to stitch that partnership of 143 in 13 overs and finish the game like that is absolutely outstanding. That's exactly what Surya Yadav can do. And that was missing for the best part of the tournament. But at least it turned up today, which is good for India.
Did any of you see any of those comments around the Indian World Cup squad selection on whether Surya is also not in the best of form or Surya is not a certainty? It was never a question, I hope, right? Because I saw some of it on my feed. Which tells you I'm probably following the wrong people.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly. I did make the comment, actually, on when I did some work with Star, that if India weren't picking him, I'm sure there's every other country competing in the World Cup would welcome him in their top order because, this guy's a superstar. He does things that very few can in this game, and he does it pretty consistently. He's had a slightly inconsistent season this year, but he's come in without any cricket under his belt. He's come in having recovered from a significant injury that put him out for a couple of months. I think today he showed exactly the class of the player, and it wasn't an easy surface either. Right. It wasn't if it was a flat wicket and he just had fun on a flat wicket. He had to navigate some tricky conditions. Pat Cummins beat him, hands down about 3 balls in a row when he first came in.
Yep.
And you've got to also, yes, Mumbai were 3 for 31, but they actually should have been about 3 for 15.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Sunrisers gave away, byes and wides and all sorts of things. And that first 4 overs, it was like, don't you want to win this game? It was really poor discipline with the ball. So that may have looked a little bit different, but coming in at 3 for 15 against coming in at 3 for 31.
A lot of that perhaps had to do with the start. Marco Janssen, Bhuvi had a few, but Bhuvi came back quite well. Janssen, a lot of comments on our YouTube live actually on Janssen. Has Janssen declined from the player he was? Anish says he was a good product last year. Vijender says it must be so difficult for coaches to figure out Jansen and why he's not a finished product in this format.
Yeah, I said the other day about Marco Jansen, I think he's a player that needs to be playing regularly. When he's not playing regularly, I think he loses real sort of tempo and rhythm to his game. And I see that in him now. He looks like a bowler that is uncertain to where the ball's going to go and, you know, what length, what line he's bowling, which is very uncharacteristic of the bowler that you see in other formats when he's playing for South Africa.
Sometimes unplayable.
He bowls, you know, on a bin lid and just hits that length and hits the splice of the bat on that awkward. And if he did that today, he would have been a real handful.
My mind goes back to that India-South Africa game at the Eden Gardens, and almost seems like after that day, Marco Jansen was shell-shocked, or at least he lost some level of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that in the first game also.
Yeah.
And even today, where the conditions were really helpful, you wanted Marco Jansen to turn up, and he didn't. And that was obviously disappointing for SRH. And that body language also, you know, you need your fast bowler, somebody who's 6'8", 6'9", to turn up on the day when the team needs it. So, yeah, it's been a disappointing, and SRH needs to look at the other option, you know, whether Fazal Farooqi is the one, or maybe strengthen that batting lineup or get Unadkat in. You know, they need to definitely, because this is the weak link for their attack.
Yeah, potentially it is Unadkat, and then bring in someone like a Glenn Phillips into that batting lineup, or a Markram, or do you go to Fazal Farooqi, who's a genuine weapon with the new ball?
You've named everybody. Give me an answer.
Well, it's either way, right? If it's kind of, they've tried to solve their bowling.
Yeah. They feel like there was something missing in the bowling outside of Pat Cummins.
Yeah, they've tried to solve their bowling issues while weakening their batting. And I think we've probably seen the two performances with the bat since haven't really been up to the mark. So it's an interesting one, right? Because you do have the impact sub. They've got enough local Indian talent, you know, to be able to not have to worry too much about bringing in an overseas bowler unless he's completely outstanding.
There seems to be some element of confusion for a team that we thought was on a bit of a roll and now come to the business end. Would you be concerned for the Sunrisers? Some questions coming through. Would they be worrying about Jansen and Klaassen's form? I don't know if Klaassen's forms are concerned. You could take that in a minute, Tom. There's also, going back to what we discussed on our pre-show, whether Tripathi is a better fit at 3 than Mayank Agarwal. And there are a number of comments on why Glenn Phillips can't get around in this side if they're not sure about who their fourth overseas needs to be. Take all of those.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, look, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I think let's start at the top. Clearly, their opening pair are a real threat, so that's fine. 3's been an issue for them. They did start with Markram. Now they've gone local. I think they picked the wrong local to begin with as a replacement at 3. Amrol Preet, I think, was the wrong choice, particularly when you've got the experience of Mayank and Tripathi. And whilst they made that wrong choice, those two are sitting on the bench, losing hope and losing confidence at that time. Those 3 games pass. So I thought today they picked the wrong player. To me, I'm a Tripathi fan. I think he's a dangerous player. He sort of fits the mould of the game that Sunrisers are trying to play. He's more a natural aggressor. We saw Mayank today. He just played a shot totally out of character. It's not him. You know, he's more of a pure player. He's that sort of that old style anchor type player.
And needs to open, you almost feel.
Yeah, possibly. He can still play a role at 3. He's a good enough player to do it at 3. But then there's this issue with the ball, and their attack's not balanced because they don't have quality spin. So, you know, you need to have a quality spinner in your attack, at least one quality spinner if you're going to have an impact in this IPL. We look at all the top teams, and they've all got that box very, very firmly ticked.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the variety in their attack is lacking. It's just one pace attack that, you know, Natarajan's done a stellar job at the back end of the innings. Pat Cummins has done a stellar job in carrying the whole attack and coming in big moments and having an impact, but he can't do it every single game.
Yeah.
Boovy's come in and out of games from time to time. So I just think there's a few gaps that they need to fill. Personally, I'd have Tripathi at 3, and I would actually play Faruqi. I just think that he is a real threat with the ball, and they need...
Still doesn't solve the point you make about a spinner, though. Still an overseas
No, yeah, but...
So then does Markande play every game?
Yeah, I think
They went without him today.
Yeah, I think Markande's got to play. You know, you've got to play your specialist spinner.
Did they miss out on that today? Do you sense they made the call for the impact sub and they would have gone Markande? Who knows? Like I said, they did see Umran, Marcus run up, so maybe Markande was not part of the plan today.
Yeah, I mean, I would have played Markande. Yeah. Like I said in the pre-show, you would take that risk with a leg spinner. He might be expensive, but he's going to pick you a couple of wickets. I mean, if you go few games back, that Fraser McGurk wicket, he got hit for 3 sixes, and then he got him out, and that changed the game because Fraser McGurk was getting away with the game. So you got to play that risk. That element a wrist spinner brings it. So you got to play him because he's the best guy there. You haven't got anybody else. If Hasaranga was there, I'm sure they would have played him.
By now, for sure.
You know, by doing some.
I mean, they also have his replacement if they're brave to send an inexperienced international wrist spinner there in Vijaykant Vayaskant, but it doesn't seem like it's...
Again, I don't understand that replacement.
Right.
With all due respect to the young spinner, I just think when you've got some like Adil Rashid, in the wings, or Tabriz Shamsi out there, the proven international and experienced players, so when they come into a packed stadium at Hyderabad, they're ready to perform and they know how to perform under pressure.
Okay, that answers some of your questions. Lawrence John, not playing a spinner, was it the wrong selection? Panel's just given you their opinion. A lot of more questions on Tripathi versus Mayank. Interesting to see if they change it up. They have 3 home games to come now. I think this is tongue-in-cheek. Could Sky have scored his century 10 balls faster?
No, 17.2 was perfect.
What else? I'm just trying to see something that we've not taken already, but there are also some questions on how the panel views the upcoming game between SRH and LSG. That becomes such a big game now. In fact, do we have the points table just as yet?
Well, it's like a qualifier.
Just look at what this result does. Not only does it keep Hyderabad at 12 points from 11 games, same as Chennai, same as Lucknow, but the net run rate now comes into play big time. And Chennai would love the fact that Lucknow lost badly to Kolkata over the weekend. They themselves picked up the points against Punjab and Dharamshala, and that leaves Chennai in pole position with net run rate, and Hyderabad and Lucknow, potentially that game coming up. That's virtual knockout? Could eventually be that.
It is a bit like that, isn't it? It's pretty cool. And they both put themselves in that position where they shouldn't be in.
I mean, does it also keep the league open? Would Delhi be interested suddenly?
Oh, they'll be fizzed up for sure.
Yeah?
Absolutely. If they can get up and get a win tomorrow, then it gives them a sniff, doesn't it? Because Lucknow and Hyderabad are going to drop a game. Chennai hasn't really hit the form that we expect them to. So, they might drop 1 or 2 games on the way in. So, you could be looking at 3 or 4 teams on 14 points.
Would it still be one of those 3, though? Or could this be a backdoor entry? I know there's an RCB fan who's done very hard to find different permutations to just see that RCB could go through with 14.
I think the net run rate is going to make a massive play here. You look at Delhi's net run rate, it's negative 0.44, which is, they're a long way behind. Bangalore aren't too bad, but, that just the 4 wins is a bit of a problem for them.
Yeah. The thing for them is that 14 points could suddenly be opened up if Kolkata and Rajasthan continue to run away with it, and then it's between 12 and 14 for that 3rd and 4th spot. But yeah, there's a lot that needs to happen still. Just checking very quickly if there's anything that we have missed out on. There was a very cheeky question, I was trying to find it earlier, looking at Sky, whether the natural transition should have been for MI to name Sky as captain and simply move forward from there. Anyone biting?
Well, has he got ambitions to captain?
Everybody in India has ambitions to captain.
Yeah, has he got experience in captaining state sides and?
Yeah, he's done it. He's done it not successfully though. Yeah, but he's done it.
Yeah, so there's more to it than just sort of putting your hand up and wanting the post as a position of, authority. You've got to have the qualities around captaincy. He's certainly got the qualities with the bat in the hand. I don't know what he's like as a leader though. Okay,
well, why don't we talk about the current captain? This win would please him very much. We mentioned Hardik Pandya a lot during Mumbai Indians' defeat. So we must also mention him when Mumbai Indians win. And we'll dedicate a whole segment to him. He is our JBL Mute to the World performer for the day. All right, Hardik Pandya improving in each game with the ball. And today, Mitch, we touched upon this on our halftime show. But let's run through what Hardik got right today. Thoughts with the ball?
Yeah, look, I thought his control was a lot better today. He used his bouncer more than we've seen at the start of the season, so he's trying to actually take wickets. And he had to do that in the role that he was doing. He came in after a wicket was taken on a couple of occasions, and if you're going to bowl that over straight away after, you've got to be aggressive and you've got to try have an impact on the game. It can't be seen as a soft over, so he's the skipper and he chose to put himself into that position to have an impact on the game.
You know what he would do today if he was sitting back? He would take these lovely JBL Tune Beam active noise cancelling earbuds that give you legendary JBL sound. That's what Hardik Pandya would be doing. Cancel the noise out. This would be such an important part of Hardik Pandya just easing into the role. Who knows, the season may be done this time, but if he finishes on a high, changes things going forward for Hardik?
Well, it certainly will. It certainly change his fortunes going into a World Cup. He needs form with bat and ball. He's had a very difficult season. I don't think he's had a season or a tournament like this in his lifetime. So, if anything, he's going to grow a lot as a player and as a person from this experience. You always do when you have massive setbacks. Who knows? India may benefit. He may well have a monster World Cup.
Yeah. Credit to his captaincy today as well, which we've been very critical of in the past. But he brought in Bumrah earlier, even went for his third over to try and kill the game off. Chawla, I thought was an interesting matchup for Klaasen, but it worked. Better with his bowling changes today?
Yeah, slightly better. He used Jasprit Bumrah twice in the power play. And obviously, Chawla had a really good game. He turned the game around with that Klaasen wicket, but he himself got 3 important wickets with Reddy, Shahbaz and Jansen.
Yep.
So I thought, his game is getting there. He's taking that responsibility. I would have loved to have seen him bat today, get some game time. But I think he did most things right. I mean, if you have to be critical, we've talked about it. Picking no overseas fast bowler on that kind of pitch. That's the only thing, how much say he has got in that team selection. Other than that, I would say he's done most things right.
Regardless of the result, do you think that's still something Mumbai need to look at? Qudsiya surely plays this in this side.
Definitely.
And we believe from whatever intelligence we have that he was not injured. Or
Yeah, you would think so. I guess, just the use of Qudsiya so far for me, there's just got to be a different way of kind of backing him in. He's been the guy who's been Mr. Fix-It. He's been used in the toughest situations, and sometimes, he's had an over that's gone for a few runs, but you've got to look at that over and figure out, did he challenge the batsman? Did he look threatening? Because his role is to come in and take wickets, and that's his job. And he's done that throughout the season. So, yeah, that's a question, definitely. I think today, going back to the Hardik captaincy question, I think today I was starting to get a little bit nervous of how late Chawla was going to bowl. I think he bowled in the 10th over, and that would have meant for him to bowl his 4 overs, he would have had to go 10, 12, 14, 16. So he would have had to bowl all 4 from one end, basically. And at that point I was thinking, well, if Klaasen is going to line up against him at that period of the game, I thought it was a big risk. And I would have probably liked to see either one of the overs for Namandia or for Chawla to be bowled a little bit earlier.
Looks good when it comes off.
Yeah, it does. It does. You're right. So it did come off today. But, this is what's been going on the whole season. There's been small little things that have been played out that haven't gone their way, and that's why they've ended up on the wrong side of the coin.
Well, for the time being, it's 2 precious points that at least makes Mumbai's position look a little better. Still may not be enough. Might be too little too late. Hardik Pandya has done well to be our JBL Mute the World performer for the day. It's time for rapid fire review of the game, shall we? The drill, gentlemen, 20 seconds or less. Mitch, let me carry on with you. What did Hardik Pandya get right with the ball today? 20 seconds.
He was confident when he came on. He was impactful with his overs. He he took wickets at the right times and slowed the Sunrisers Hyderabad's momentum in their batting innings.
All right, very good. With time to spare, Wasim, did the decision to get Sanveer Singh as the impact sub prove costly for Hyderabad? 20 seconds.
I think so. I think he was not the guy who's going to get, he played 7 to 8 balls. He's not somebody who's going to get 20 or 25 in those. So he actually didn't impacted the game as much, and he doesn't bowl that much as well. So you could have probably gone ahead with Bhuvi to come in and get a leg spinner. You don't never know what he could have done in the game.
All right, fair enough. Tom Moody, please summarize Surya Yadav's 100 in 20 seconds.
Nothing short of brilliant, really. He came in with difficult conditions, difficult team circumstances, 3 for 31, well, even less than that when he first came in, but under huge pressure, showed his array of shots, put pressure on the opposition like he always does, and turned the game very quickly in favour of Mumbai. All
right, Mitch McClenaghan, back to you. Do Hyderabad need to consider an alternative for Marco Jansen, and if yes, who? 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? He's had 2 games or 3 games now and hasn't really hit his straps. Just been a little bit inconsistent. So, yes, I think they probably do need to consider an alternative. Faisal Farooqi's a wicket-taking bowler at the top with the new ball. So that might be the option they need to go with.
All right, back to you, Wasim. Will the lack of spin options hurt Hyderabad in the back end of the season? They play their remaining 3 games at home.
I think it will hurt. All they've got is Mayank Markande. They need to stick with him. And Shahbaz Ahmed is a part-time. He's not going to give you 4 overs. Abhishek Sharma is another one. But yeah, when they turn up, or hopefully they turn up for playoffs, it's still a long way. That's going to hurt them.
All right. And finally, Tom Moody, 69 runs in the last 6 games at a strike rate below 100. Any thoughts on Rohit Sharma's slump in form? 20 seconds.
Yeah, look, it's a concern, particularly given how he started the tournament. He started the tournament in great form. I can't help that he is feeling the burden as a senior player of the course that Mumbai have taken as a team, and I think that's affected his batting and his focus around what he needs to do as an opening bat.
All right, we can also add to that there was some back trouble in the last game. We did see him named in the fielding first side, but we see how things evolve in the remaining set of games. It's a result that a number of teams would like we mentioned. It's something that keeps that SRH LSG game with so much riding on it, and who knows who else can get a chance for a backdoor entry come the end, right? Do you know what it's time for now, gentlemen? It's time for the impact zone.
Skip this tonight.
It's time for the impact zone.
He's not looking forward to it now.
Mr. Moody, what an impressive win that is.
Yeah, very lucky. Sky had a great night, didn't he? But Mitch, you were consistent. That's steady. No, it's steady numbers.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. And generally, to be honest, the standard of competitors recently has been pretty poor until you guys have come back. So, oh, come on.
Oh, my.
A few of the guys who have been on the couch have struggled. So, finally it's
name them.
a bit
Name
more
them all. Are you naming who are you naming? Deep Das Gupta, Shashank, good old Shashank?
Definitely Shashank.
Oh.
Shashank struggled. He's going with his local heroes and it hasn't been working for him.
Oh, man.
Well done, Tom.
In a way, I mean, Sky has got more than any of us combined. So, 147 for Surya Yadav, high impact innings, high impact 100. And that's pretty good from Mumbai's.
Yeah, and Wasim and myself have only got ourselves to blame, unfortunately, on this occasion because you went Raunak Kapoor, I went Travis Head, and we gave him Sky. So he should actually be thanking us.
Right, okay. Is that how it works? Okay.
We're generous, aren't we, Wasim?
An outrageous pick has also landed today.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's an outrageous pick or a prediction score.
It's a
We've
prediction.
never had a score prediction predicted.
A score
This is the first time.
predicted.
Well done, that's
This is
great.
the first time.
Yeah. That's good. Well, you get a pat on the back for that. That's good.
I will.
You'll get some points, I've been told, but not the weight of the outrageous pick.
Okay.
Some points, from last night's giveaway.
I'm keen on some headphones. Do I get the headphones?
Would you like them?
I would love them.
Very
They're
well.
cute. Just in my colour as well.
Is this your colour?
That's my colour.
That's good, man.
Lilac.
You look lovely.
Lilac. Or lavender purple.
Same colour.
All right. On that note, it is time to say thank you very much to Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan, who is of a different colour and flavour when Mumbai Indians win, I must say.
Oh, it's frightening.
Yeah, we've literally seen that just 4 times this season. Yeah. And Wasim, thank you very much. We look forward to your company tomorrow for a game that has enough interest for Delhi Capitals suddenly now with this result. But Rajasthan Royals look at the standout team of the tournament. They'd like to reclaim top spot. Build up to that just round the toss on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL. Download the mobile app if you haven't already. Love to hear what the Sunrisers make of this defeat. It's now 1 win and 4 for them. Those 2 points against Rajasthan may be crucial if they are to make the playoffs. They now head home for 3 on the trot. And let's see if Mumbai can also upset the stories for some of the other teams. They still have to play Lucknow as well as KKR in their run in towards the end of the league stage. We will see you tomorrow night.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.